Hello everybody, my name is Marlo and welcome to today's episode of TekTopia. I hope you're all having some very happy holidays and that you enjoyed Christmas. That's a little weird for me to say because as I'm recording right now, Christmas has yet to happen, but that's just what happens with pre-recording. So as per usual, I've got a big long list of things to get done today. I'm just chilling in this 4-person home, watching the villagers sleep as I definitely don't do all the time. I'm not a creepy mare at all. No way. So before we start doing our big list, it's not that big, it's a medium-sized list, I would say. I do just want to let you know I made the change that a few of you pointed out in episode 16? 17, I think 17, the one where we built this library, and mentioned that the enchanting table wouldn't actually be able to be used with this skylight up here. The trapdoors weren't there in that episode, because, yeah, no ceiling, so it doesn't register as part of a building, but I put some trapdoors up there. Instead of glass, I was going to do, the glass didn't really look particularly well, and I honestly don't think I want to use glass in this village. I don't think it really fits with what I'm doing. So, yeah, went with some trapdoors, so now when we do eventually get an enchanter, he will actually be able to use this enchanting table. Alright, so the first thing I want to do in today's episode is do something about our entranceway here, this big gap in the wall. So originally it was meant to be this large open area as the entranceway to our village, but after some reconsideration and a few of you guys pointing out in the comments, it could do with something just filling this gap here. It looks a little strange and not exactly safe. There is plenty of room for mobs to fit in through here, so I think what I want to do is maybe put a slightly smaller and different wall design, and yeah, just have a very small entranceway somewhere in the middle here, like a little arch. And I've been messing around in a creative world for quite some time and finally decided on a wall design similar but not the same as this one, and yeah, I like it. So we're going to build it up real quick and I can show you what it looks like. Real quick, whilst we build this in the background, I have a question for you guys. So, over the past few episodes, I've received some comments of people asking me to include things that aren't necessarily just focused on TekTopia into the videos, just general survival world stuff, such as the creeper farm we built last episode. Obviously that's a little bit different because it was such a huge project and is kind of integrated into the village anyway, so I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about that, but I'm more so talking about when we do maybe a load of resource gathering. Say I have to deforest an entire biome to get some acacia wood, which I have done from time to time. Those savannas are very treeless now, or maybe tear apart a huge section of the desert for sand. That would make, you know, quite a cool time lapse, and if I had something to talk about maybe. Or say from time to time I have to go back to the old village to get some resources, or maybe make a trip to the end or the nether. Just general survival stuff that you would do in everyday worlds. So it wouldn't take much time at all, in fact really none. Most stuff I do in this world is focused on the village. But yeah, would you guys like to see that or not? I'm going to put a poll on the screen, give me your vote, and yeah, let me know your opinions on that. I'd be very interested to hear what you guys think. Hopefully I remember to put the poll on the screen, but if not, just leave me a comment down below. I read and reply to all my comments, so I will most certainly see it. But what do you guys think about this wall design? I don't think I like it quite as much as the big one we've got going around the whole village here, but I certainly like the top a little bit more with those buttons and the stairs poking up. I think it looks quite nice. And you may have seen towards the end of that time lapse, we did actually make this somewhat functional to walk on. So we've got a hole in the wall here. Obviously only I can come up this because villagers can't climb ladders, unfortunately. However cool that would be, I've just realized I need slabs on top of these blocks here. I'll have to do that off camera. But yeah, we can come along here and walk and check out the outside, looking for creepers, or maybe watch the nomads and merchants walk in. So yeah, that's a cool little thing, and I actually want to make this fence, or yeah, fence I guess, entranceway even more functional. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to work with the thing that I'm going to try first of all, but I want to make this portcullis here kind of work. The fence isn't actually going to go down anywhere because that is a one wide block and there's no way I could possibly fit any redstone in there and hide it. So I think instead I'm going to put some pistons underneath here and then link it up to a daylight sensor so that when it's nighttime, the blocks like come up by one and then won't allow any mobs in. The only thing is, I'm not sure whether the merchant and nomads are going to get out in time. So I'm going to set it up and yeah, test it and see if they can exit the village before that happens. I have done some redstone of the highest caliber under our entranceway over here. Some super high-tech stuff. I don't think I should even bother explaining it because I'm sure none of you would understand. It's just so complex. No, I'm kidding. It's incredibly basic and I'm sure all of you understand what's going on, but I will explain nonetheless. So we have a daylight sensor over here underneath this lime carpet, which is a texture change we made last episode, which I actually need to make the daylight sensor to night mode so that the entranceway here pops up with sand, as you can see, blocking any mobs apart from baby zombies, husks, baby husks, or spiders. I think those are the only ones that can get through, which honestly the zombies are the only problem. I don't mind if a spider slips through from time to time. They're only going to be going after me instead of the villagers. So yeah, I now need to do a little bit of waiting for some merchants and nomads to show up and see if they can get out on time. But even if they can, I'm fairly certain they will just despawn because they can't find their way back to where they originally spawned. That tends to be what happens. As you can see, our villagers are going to sleep, so that should mean the merchant and nomads are going to be on their way out any second. Oh, okay. That shut a lot sooner than I thought. Okay, so where have the merchant and nomad gone? Have they just despawned like I thought they would? Or are they still wandering around the village? I think they're gone. Maybe let's check inside the storage. There appears to be a witch somewhere in this building where I must have left 2 gaps for them to spawn. Yeah, they must have just despawned, which honestly is fine. I'd kind of rather have that block there being blocking everyone coming in, at least for the most part, aside from the babies, as I said. Yeah, I think they've gone. Okay, that works. We're going to keep it like that. I was going to switch it out to a lever. If it was going to be a problem, then I could sort of just do it whenever I wanted to, but you know, if that is actually functional, that's really awesome, actually. Whilst waiting on that night and day to pass by so I could check on the nomads and merchant, a few other days and nights also went by whilst I was working on making this wall here a little more functional and making some alterations to it. So I had 2 comments saying that I should put some slabs on the bottom levels here so that these arrow slits were a lot more usable and I didn't just shoot like straight into the ground. I could have a clearer vision. Shall I do it? No, I won't. Maybe I'll give him a quick scare. Shoot right by him. Oh, scared you, bunny, didn't I? He's not even bothered. That is one cool bunny. Yeah, so this is what I've done going all the way around, and you guys know how big the wall is. This took a long time for what it actually is. It's a lot of acacia that I used and a lot of sandstone slabs, but yeah, there we go. This is now a functional wall with some arrow slits. I've completely forgotten the name of what they're actually called, but I kind of want to be able to shoot something through them just so I feel like it wasn't a true waste of time, but it's nighttime now, so I imagine everything has already despawned. And by nighttime, I of course mean daytime. That is the sun, not the moon. I just got my words confused a little bit, but the next thing I want to build in this village is actually going to require more emeralds than I currently have, so I think for a couple of in-game days, I'm just going to let my villagers work for a little while and gather up some more items so I can do some trading and actually get a substantial amount of emeralds. And while that goes on, I want to do a couple things here and there around the village. One of which is change up these trapdoors for something else, because seeing them from above, they really don't look very good, I don't think anyway. I've decided I'm going to keep the dome and the rest of the library as it is. I quite like how it looks now. I've become adjusted to it, but yeah, those trapdoors definitely need to go, so I'm going to think of something else I can do instead of that. And then the other thing I think I'm going to do is put 2 of every animal in these animal pens here, ready for the ranchers whenever we do get them. So going to need 2 chickens, 2 sheep, 2 cows, and 2 pigs. So going to have to do a little fly around and hope that I got some at least chickens and pigs somewhere nearby. I have some, if I can fly, I'll show you, cows and sheeps over here that I get my wool and leather from. So I am heading to the nearest swamp biome so I can kill some slime and get myself some slime balls for some leads so I can rope all these animals together. And I am currently soaring hundreds of blocks above the sky so that I can conserve on rockets. Just now I've realized I'm going in the wrong direction. No, I need to be going this way. I'm looking to get to 3,000 minus 3,500, 6,500-ish. So, are we going the right way now? Yes, we are. Alright, I am entirely invisible. You can't even see my face. I am that high in the sky. There we go. Finally, a swamp. That took enough gliding. There looks to be lots of mobs around. Fantastic. Okay. Also, just realized I forgot to bring my looting sword. I am always ill-prepared whenever I leave the village. Never seem to bring the right things. Okay, slime, are you anywhere around here? This is probably dangerous, but I saw one here. Okay, hello. Die. Die. Oh my... Die? Okay, well. That was good. I have recovered from my slimy mishap. Really not too sure what happened there, but I managed to get all my stuff back, as you can see. And I also went ahead and got all of the sheep, pigs, cows and chickens, 2 of each, so that we are ready for when we eventually hire some ranchers, which probably won't be for a few episodes, as I will most likely do the chef and butcher and everything there. So that's gonna be a pricey episode. Lots of emeralds will go into that one, and considering I don't have many at the moment, yeah, I'll most likely hold off on a bit for a little while. But these pigs and chickens were thankfully just in the savanna biome over the hill there, so this wasn't too much of a grindy task, which is very nice. As far as the top of the library is concerned, you can see, if I can eventually fly, please, thank you, I have just made a slightly smaller skylight, replacing the outer trapdoors with some inward facing stairs. So we still have some daylight sneaking through the top here, which is really nice, and the enchanting table down there should still be able to be used because this is seen as a full block. But yeah, this looks a lot better than it did before. So now what I want to do is actually place a building nearby the library, I think, which is actually going to be the school. It is now time to name the village, which I'm sure you guys have been waiting in anticipation for, because a couple of episodes ago I asked you guys on what we should call this place, and I got so many name suggestions. I think there were over 100 comments on that episode, which is just crazy. So thank you to everyone for all your suggestions and or just general comments. I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. But I was reading through them all and thought, you guys are so creative at coming up with these names. I don't quite know how you do it. I am really not the best. But I was struggling to pick which one I wanted to use until I read one in particular which really stood out to me and I think fits the style what we're doing here just perfectly. So the new name of this village and what it shall be called is Asteria. How cool does that sound? I think very. So this was a comment from John Alban, who actually left a bunch of other names, but I thought Asteria was the best of the bunch. So yeah, this village is now Asteria. Let me know what you guys think about that one. I really do like it. But that's not actually where I'm going to end this talk off on, because I had another comment from Tate Sutton who suggested the Borderlands, which I also really liked, but yeah, I wanted to call the place Asteria, and I'm gonna combine the two here a little bit. So I was thinking maybe we could call the village Asteria, and then all of the surrounding land, basically just the whole desert biome we're in, and just all of the area nearby, the Asterian Borderlands. I think that sounds kind of awesome. So this is the village of Asteria within the Asterian Borderlands. How do you guys think that sounds? I honestly really like it. I think it sounds super cool. Alright, I know these buildings both look really weird, so you guys know this is the library, a very strange looking library, and this is the school, and I'm not gonna lie, it's really difficult to make a building look like a school in the style that I'm doing. So I think I've achieved it. I'm not sure. You guys will have to let me know. Would you say this looks like a school just by seeing it for the first time? I'm not sure personally, but there we go. This is what we've got. So I really wanted to put something in this blue circle up here, but unfortunately it's an even number, so the most I could do is have a 2 high painting here, or 1 or 2 1 block paintings, but I don't really know why I would do that. Originally I wanted to have a clock here by just putting some stone buttons around to make a very basic looking clock so the children would know what time it is and when they needed to be in school by, but Unfortunately, it could not fit, so gonna have to leave it blank, but I don't think it matters too much. If you have any ideas of something I could put there, please let me know. So this is the entranceway. We have many doors for the children to all cram into, or not cram into. That was the purpose of them, so they're not all trying to fit through this one wide thing, so they can go in either the double doors or the single. And then as for the inside, I pretty much just smoothed up the roof here and placed a couple paintings here to fill up, or to fill a gap, so it's not all blue terracotta up here. And then we've got this big table in the middle, and I wanted to take the approach of group learning instead of having just individual desks. So yeah, for this one we got a big table, and then the teacher can come around and teach the kids stuff. And I'm imagining these are like counting cubes or something to help the kids learn how to count. I'm not sure. I didn't really know what to put on here. I didn't want to do carpet because that messes up the villagers' pathing a little bit. So yeah, I wanted to avoid that, but I felt like having this huge orange slab was a little strange. I just got some flowers and a crafting bench, because all you really need in a school is a crafting bench and a whole lot of chairs. We've got two for, well, symmetry, right? And yeah, added a few details in the wall. Now, this outside bit, I'm honestly not sure is going to work. Is that a mob? No, sorry, thought I saw a mob up there, but I did not. So I'm not sure whether this is going to work and actually count as part of the building because of this carpet here. I don't know if this registers as like a full block, so I'm going to have to wait until I get some kids and see if they actually sit out here or not. If they don't and this doesn't work, it's not the end of the world, because I will just exchange it for something like this roof design where we've got on this 10-person home. So yeah, I can just switch it out. It's no big deal, but I kind of like this like cover we've got. I don't really know what to call it. It's like a sheet hanging over the top. So yeah, fingers crossed they use it, but I guess I will just have to wait and see. Unfortunately, I cannot afford the school token as of right now. I have 18 emeralds to my name, and in total, for the amount of things I want to buy in this episode, hopefully, I need just under 2 stacks of emeralds. That is wishful thinking. I don't think I'm going to be able to get all those. So maybe if I can just get just over a stack, that should be good for the most part. I wanted to get a blacksmith and buy the Smithy token. You can't really see it. It's what we did last episode, that building over there in the distance. But we can always save that till next episode. It's not too big of a deal. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do is find the nearest extreme hills biome and then just dig for emeralds and hope I can find at least a few, because I don't really just want to idly wait around here for the villagers to slowly gather up items and just be able to get myself a measly amount of emeralds. So I'm going to go cave in and see if I get lucky. That mining session was incredibly plentiful. I don't think I've ever been down a mine that had so many emeralds. I really didn't even need to spend that much time down there, honestly. Maybe just over an hour. I thought I was going to be down there for hours on end to get all of the emeralds I needed. So yeah, safe to say I am extremely happy with that, because that now means, well, we can buy everything I want to do in today's episode. At least I think. I haven't double checked the prices and I may have added it up wrong, so hopefully I'm not incredibly disappointed here. But from the tradesman, we need a teacher for the school that we just built, so we'll get that one there. And we would also like a blacksmith, which is this token here. Those two are the cheap ones, so we really have the same amount of emeralds left, minus, what, 15 did we just spend there? But from the architect, now is where it gets a little pricey. We need to buy the school token, which, there goes nearly half of our emeralds. Let's put that next to the teacher one. And I also need the smithy, which I believe is 30 something or other. Yeah, 36, which we still have enough for. Good. 25. Yep, I have done the maths right, because the last token I want to do, which we will get to in a little bit, is actually the merchant store. We're going to make a cool little wagon design, which I'm really excited to show you. So yeah, awesome. I really didn't expect to be able to do that this episode. I might have to go mining a bit more in future while all the villagers sort of get in their stride and produce more resources for me. So here is the school token going in, nice and shiny. And here is the smithy icon going in. Sweet! This type of stuff happens far too often to the point I'm considering not using flower pots anymore, just because they get stuck on them so often and I have no idea why. Like, I don't know why they're trying to go through the plant pot, but you see, as soon as I break it, he's set free. Same with this one, I imagine. Yep, there you go. Okay, so which is a shame because I really like the plant pots. I really do. So I'm gonna leave them in here, and if you guys got anything else I could like put on these desks or shelves or whatever you want to call them, let me know, because I always just tend to stick a plant pot on here if I don't have anything else. It's kind of my go-to, so I kind of wish they didn't get stuck on them, but if you remember, we had that issue over there, so those plant pots at the town hall are now on the floor because of the same issue. Can you guys remember when we started our first village and all of our villagers were so sad for the first few episodes? I could not get them happy at all. They were slouching around all over the place and yeah, we're just constantly sad, but I have not had this problem this time round. As you can see, all of my villagers are above 90 intelligence, which is really helpful, and I think it's because of two main things. One, I actually let them sleep through the night now. I didn't quite realize the importance of that at the time. And two, this library has been an absolute godsend. It has been boosting their intelligence as well as the happiness that they gain from reading books. So to any of you starting out TekTopia villages, I would highly recommend building the library ASAP really. But as you see, some nomads have just turned into our village and I'm looking to give one of them the teacher icon, so I'm going to have a look at these guys and see how their stats are. I'm quite intimidated being walked directly into by those two. That was quite scary. So I think Svensson Zohan here is the best man for the job. None of them have particularly good intelligence. He is only level 8, but he also has 9 levels in a teacher skill. So yeah, the best one, I think maybe it's you? No, there is a villager with 12 intelligence, but because we have the library, I don't need to be too concerned about intelligence anymore. So yeah, we're going to give it to this guy. Plus, this is going to be a new skin for us in this series, because last time we actually only had a female teacher, so yeah, kinda cool. And now what we are actually going to do is pick up this twinkling heart in this bed and spawn our first child, and then I'm going to just wait 5 days and let him grow up into a nitwit, and then we can make that guy the miner because, well, we've just got a teacher. It would be a bit of a waste not to spawn any children in. We're just going to stick to the one for now. I would like to check real quick that we do have bed space in our 6-person home over here. I think we do, but I just want to make sure. Yep, I have 5 spare beds. That is plenty for a new child. I might as well actually spawn them in here. So there we go. We have John Drumwind. I'm fairly certain that was a name that crept up in our old village, but there we go. There's only so many options you can have. So 8 intelligence to begin with. That's actually fairly decent for a child. He's off to school with our teacher, Svensson. Go learn some things, buddy. Off you go. I've just done a little bit of testing in a creative world and I'm fairly certain that these carpets aren't going to function as a roof, so real quickly I'm just going to switch them over to sandstone and birch slabs. I really do like seeing the villagers walk about on their balcony and just sit outside on their table. They look as though they're having a nice conversation about their day. So I figured now we would do this merchant stall that I mentioned a minute ago whilst we wait on our child to grow up to be a blacksmith. I should probably light up that roof. Hopefully nothing spawns up there whilst I'm recording this clip, but I thought since this is quite a small build, I would try and do it on camera since I almost never do that sort of stuff in this series, so something a little bit different. No idea how it's going to go. I'm really bad at building on camera, so you're going to have to apologize if this isn't good. If it's really bad, I'll just scrap it and show you afterwards. But yeah, so the first thing we're going to do is place down our wheels, and I think I want to do it just outside the entrance, or just inside the entranceway here. So we'll place maybe the back wheel going. Oh, this is why I don't do it on camera. I'm too indecisive. So we'll do that back one there, and these are of course very square wheels, but this is Minecraft. There's no such thing as a circle really. Then we'll do the same on this side, and then repeat the other two with a gap of 3, I believe. I haven't actually got a reference image up. This is all off of memory from when I built the thing like over a couple of days ago. So this is probably not going to go very well, but yeah, so that is the wheels. And I know what you're probably thinking. Based on that alone, you're probably curious how this thing actually gets through that gate. Well, it doesn't, but I don't really want to redesign this whole area just so that makes sense. Hopefully you guys can understand that, but now we're going to get some this, and this, and then we're going to get our smooth sandstone. Yep, we're gonna cut it right there. That took way too long to do. It was like a 6-minute clip, so I decided to yeah, do a voiceover instead. Building on camera really isn't my strong suit. I and ah too much. I can't focus on two things at once. Trying to build takes up enough of my attention, and I can't formulate a sentence. I can barely formulate a sentence just doing these voiceovers. You'd be surprised how many retakes they take sometimes, but yeah, this is our little wagon. Let's hop back into first person mode. Now that I'm looking at this in its finished form, I'm beginning to not like the size of it in comparison to the fence gate, so I could either redesign the whole fence gate, or I could just move this further away so you don't have this silly comparison that just looks a little unrealistic. I know it doesn't really matter, but I don't know, like there is no way that could even fit through there, probably not even if you cut it in half. There is no dimension that even fits, it's too wide, it's too tall. So yeah, I'm probably going to move it maybe, I really don't know, I'll find a spot for it, but as of right here, this can't stay. There we go, that's placed a little bit better, I think, not right next to the teeny tiny entrance it could possibly no way fit through. As you can see, our merchant is already up there. I placed the token in. It's a little cramped in here, but the token's there, and then I've just got a chest for where I'll probably just store my emeralds as a sake of just convenience. So now what I actually want to do is make this be llama powered. So thankfully, oh, rockets in the hotbar. If we just fly over this way a little, there are actually some llamas fairly nearby that we can grab. We only need 2 of them. I've got some carpets in my inventory ready to give them. Here they are. So I'm going to grab 2 of these and take them on over to the village. Probably shouldn't be doing this at nighttime. Hopefully this goes okay. I've got them over here attached to the caravan safe and sound, and as you can see, I've given them both a carpet to give them that extra bit of colour. This one has an orange one and this guy has a blue one. They look super dapper, I must say. I really do like llamas, and this whole build was actually inspired by a comment I got from Mission Healthy Life, who said about making it look as though travellers would come in by llama, and anytime I can incorporate an animal into a build, I will almost always do it. So yeah, thank you for that idea, but there's actually something else I have to show you, because this wasn't the only llama inspired idea I built. Outside our entrance here, we actually have 2 llama pens, which is where the nomads would store their traveling llamas so they can check out the village for the day. So these are the orange llamas I was talking about. These guys, I actually had to split up from those 2 over there to yeah, break their caravan apart. They did not want to leave each other's side, but they are happy now, sticking their ears out the top. I think looks quite cute. But yeah, these 2 have got each other's company. I'm sure they'll be fine in here. It is meant to be only for a day while the nomad checks out the village, and then they get back on at night and ride off into the distance. In reality, obviously, they're here for all eternity, but that's not how it goes, right, llama? You're going to leave someday, right? When your nomad owner exits. But yeah, this is quite a cute little build. I like it. So yeah, just adds that little bit of extra something to the outside. Our first child, John Drumwind, here has grown up into a nitwit, and I can't remember if I said or not because it's actually the next day now, but I want to make this guy the blacksmith. Really? Really? I just made you the blacksmith, and the first thing you decide to do is come and read. It's good and all, well done for leveling up your intelligence, but yeah, could you go smith some things, please? That was kind of the whole purpose of you. I want to see if the anvil actually works over there. Okay, finally, here he comes. I was actually just in the process of messing around with some stuff here to see if the anvil was going to be a problem. Okay, just don't use it then. I suppose he does have to smelt everything up first, so maybe I'll give him a second and see if he actually, yeah, can use this thing, because it's not like inside the building here, but still under this cover. so I don't actually think it's going to work, but what I might do is just bust a hole in this wall here, break this crafting bench, we've still got another one over there, and yeah, that should then, well, it definitely will count as part of the building. I would just like to see if it works without it, first of all. He's just grabbing the iron from the furnace, I do believe. Yep, here he comes. See, he has some ingots in. You'd think he's actually going to use this now and make like a pair of pants or something, or a sword or something like that. So I don't think this is actually going to work. So yeah, I'm going to have this hole in the wall, which I don't really want, but I got to, unless I want to. Maybe, actually, could I fit the anvil inside anywhere? Not really. It's a little bit cramped in here. I suppose actually what I could do is just have it there, and then I could keep this wall the same, but then it just makes out here a little boring. I don't know. Let me have a think, actually. Unfortunately, I wasn't quite quick enough in making the change, and it's now nighttime, so I'm not going to wait around till morning just to test if this works or not, because I'm like 99% sure it should. But what we've done out here is replace the anvil with a cauldron, just so there's something else beside the forge, and then inside the smithy here, I've put the anvil in the corner like I said about. So yeah, this will mean we can only have one blacksmith, but that isn't really a bad thing, because this is quite cramped in here as it is, so maybe having more than one would be a bad idea. But yeah, there we go, smithy and blacksmith all done for the time being. And I think that's actually going to be it for this episode, guys. I believe this is going to be the last one of 2019, so I will see you in the new year, 2020, and if you're going out on New Year's Eve, go careful, take care of your friends and family and whatnot, and yeah, just be safe. So thank you guys ever so much for watching this episode. I really hope you did enjoy it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.